If you're anything like me, your journey towards a visible six-pack started with endless crunches and planks in your childhood bedroom, lifting your top up to see if anything had changed, and despite doing this for weeks and months on end, being left sorely disappointed when you lifted your t-shirt up to see if they were there, when they in fact were not. But then as time went on, you probably heard things said like, oh, sure, we all have abs, you don't need to train them. Or maybe things like, you don't need to train your abs, squats and deadlifts are more than enough. Or the most famous line of them all, abs are made in the kitchen. In this video, I'm going to break down step by step exactly what it is you need to be focusing on if you want a visible set of abs. As someone who went from fairly round in the midsection to having created and maintained a pretty decent set of abs and maintaining it year round. Step 1, abs are built in the gym, not in the kitchen. So you need to actually train your abs directly and properly. So what do I mean by that? First of all, if you want a well-developed set of abs, squats and deadlifts are not enough on their own. And yes, your abs are being used in a squat and a deadlift, but just because they're being used doesn't mean it's enough to train them or develop them fully. So you need to train your abs directly. Now, most people's ab training looks like planks and side planks for a couple of sets and then they're out of the gym. Now, last time I checked, you don't train your biceps by holding a dumbbell in that middle range, nor do you train your legs by holding the bottom of a squat. No, we work the muscle through its function with load. Load meaning weight. So why is it when it comes to ab training, it's planks and isometric holds? We need to train our abs properly. And to do that, we need to understand what the abs do and how to get stronger. Your abs, or rectus abdominis if we're being fancy, accelerate spinal flexion and decelerate spinal extension. In simple terms, that crunching motion, that's what your abs do. Or at least it's the main function. Now we need to train that function in a way we can add load and progressively overload that exercise over time. Now there are two main ab exercises I would contribute a lot of my own ab development to. The first would be a cable ab crunch. Set the cable up nice and high, holding the rope at your shoulders. You want to keep your hips in a fixed position and focus on rounding and extending your spine, not just basically headbutting the floor. It's a great exercise because not only does it work your abs through its function, but because you're on the cables, you can add more weight and progress the movement. Or you could do something like a hanging leg raise. Now, just make sure, despite the misleading name, you aren't just lifting your knees, but also focusing on rounding your spine like you're tucking your tailbone between your legs. And finally, actually bloody train your abs. Because I know most of you watching the video plan to train your abs at the end of the session, and then you walk out of the gym without doing it every single time. Just like your calves, but that's a different video. Personally, I tag 1 or 2 ab exercises at the end of 2 of your training days a week. But if you find by tagging them on to the end of the session, you end up skipping them, then prioritize them by training them first thing in your session and just getting them out of the way. So your ab training checklist. Number 1, train your abs directly through their actual function and range of motion, not just squats and deadlifts. Number 2, focus on progressive overload, adding extra weight and reps where you can. And number 3, actually train them consistently. Step 2, abs aren't made in the kitchen, they are revealed in the kitchen. Right, so fast forward, you're doing a good job now and you're actually training your abs. Job done now, they're popping, right? Wrong, and let me tell you why. You could be doing the best ab workouts and be super consistent with your training, but unless your body fat is low enough, your abs aren't going to be visible. You see, fat tissue sits as a kind of a layer above muscle tissue, and if that fat layer is too thick, it hides the muscle underneath it. So until you reduce the thickness of that body fat, i.e. drop your body fat percentage, your abs will not be visible. Now, we all store body fat differently. Some store more on their midsection, their arse, their legs, their back, so it varies person to person how lean you'll need to be in order to see your abs and make them more visible. So all that being said, if you want visible abs, you want to build them up in the gym, but to really show them off and reveal them, you'll need to go through a structured fat loss phase to reduce your body fat percentage enough so that your abs are visible and are fully revealed. And then you're gonna have to learn how to maintain that level of leanness so you can keep that visible six-pack year round. And people are great for saying, oh, visible abs aren't sustainable year round. Yes, they really are sustainable year round, if you play your cards right. So now to summarize all that, you need to be training your abs directly just like any other muscle. Squats, deadlifts, and planks are simply not enough. Choose movements like cable ab crunches or hanging leg raises where you can train your abs through their function and range of motion, along with the ability to progressively overload them with more weight and reps as time goes on. And then to make your abs more visible, you'll need to go through a structured fat loss phase to reduce your body fat to a level where you can see visible abs. Now, over the last 8 years, I've been coaching men and women just like you to build muscle, lose body fat, and most importantly, how to maintain it for good, to the point where their abs are, in fact, visible year round. And if you want me to help you do the same, then be sure to click the first link in the description. I also want to hear your favorite ab exercises and ab training related questions, so leave them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed that, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos where I help make your fat loss and overall fitness journey a little bit less of a ball ache, instead of wasting your time with confusing BS information on social media.